don't don't just take people's advice. Have them to demonstrate why they're saying what they're saying. In the last class, we were talking about you can transfer your 529 to the Roth IRA. It's a good idea, but it doesn't solve my negative wealth transfer problem. And the problem is that I am not recycling the money. The problem with debt, one of the problems with debt is that you're not creating cash reserve, interest, and cash flow from the debt. That is the problem. Debt itself is not the problem, never has been, never will be. When we understand that we are forfeiting cash reserves, cash flow, and interest from the debt, that is the secret. And I'm going to show you why I'm saying this in my case design. If we could reverse engineer and recycle and recapture the money we've lost in the last 5 years, I wonder where would you be right now? Okay? Because we got to stop thinking in terms of traditional ideas simply because that's what everybody thinks and believes. And first of all, everybody doesn't think and believe that. You've got the banker's mindset and then everybody else. I was showing someone where the Bank of America, as of last year, no, 2 years ago, no, this is 2024, 23, yeah, from last year, they had nearly $25 billion. Let me say this again. They had nearly $25 billion in cash value life insurance. They use cash value life insurance in the same way you use credit cards. They use cash value life insurance. They use cash value life insurance to fund their pension plans. They use cash value life insurance to buy property. They use cash value life insurance to fund their debt. Interesting. But they want to sell you a credit card. The banker's mindset, Deuteronomy 5 and 16, ladies and gentlemen, is the highest financial power in this earth is the banker's mindset. Why? Because it recycles and recaptures. Okay, thank you for letting me do that introduction. Now let me go through this case aside. Because again, I want to prove to you the reason why debt is not the problem. What we want to do is we want to make the debt irrelevant. So I still got it. I still have it. But it's irrelevant. Why? Because my cash reserves are greater than my debt. So my debt is going down and my cash reserves is going up. My debt is going down and I still have it. I am making it what? Irrelevant. How am I doing that? By creating interest, cash reserve, cash flow. And I'm going to add this fourth piece in here. The fourth piece is adding profit. Profit is more y'all better put this in your notes. If you're not putting this in your notes, I'm telling you, you're giving money away in the thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay. All right. Our focus should be on increasing our cash flow, not the elimination of the debt. By learning how to create increase our cash flow, we will solve the debt problem automatically. Why? Because I have more money coming in. And when we know how to do this without a tenant, property owners, and we even know how to do this almost without a job, because you do have to have cash flow coming in to recycle the money. You do have to have that. Until your policy or policies get to a place where your cash reserves can fund multiple cash flows without any other resource. And that is the ultimate goal. Now, that's financial freedom. If you have a question, please ask me. I cannot overemphasize the fact that we are going against the grain. We are speaking the opposite language of what we are traditionally taught. We are speaking the opposite language of what we have been told. And that is the reason why we pay 30% on credit card interest rate. We pay 30% credit card interest rates. Why? Because we're comfortable with it. Why? Because we have been conditioned to do so. Now I'm going to show you in a minute here how powerful cash flow management is and how powerful the accumulation of our cash reserves and the reason why that's important. All right, so let me pull this up. I'm trying to protect the innocent, for lack of a better term. The whole point, one of the points that we're trying to make, not the whole point, but one of the points we're trying to make is the fact that the debt itself is not the problem. What we are typically taught is in order to get rid of debt is start paying it down. No, that is not the first step you make if you want to get rid of your debt. The very first step you make is creating an analysis that utilizes arbitrage so that I can begin the process of creating what? Interest, cash reserve, cash flow, and profit from my what? We want to make the debt irrelevant. We want to literally take the debt and create interest, cash reserves, cash flow, and profit from it for the rest of our lives while we are eliminating that debt. Okay, so this is a software package, and what it does, it looks at your finances. And in the course of looking at your finances, it tells you what steps to make, how to restructure your finances from week to week or every 2 weeks or every month, however often you step in, is going to show you an updated version of itself as long as you followed the previous steps. It's going to always update you, and it's going to give you a date. So let me open this up. Let's walk through this real quick. So this person has $510,000 in debt. Okay, I'm going to use my little marker here. They got $510,000 of debt. Okay. If they continue to do what you normally would do from a traditional basis, they will be debt-free 27 years, 4 months. If they continue to just do the normal, just again, following the normal, just make your bill payments, earn, save, deplete, earn, save, deplete, earn, save, deplete, right? We take the data, we put it into the software. The software takes that same data and it says, if you follow what I teach, you will be debt-free in 5.1 years. Simply by following a financial system that takes you step by step through a process where you are canceling interest, okay, and keeping your budget the same. Now, I want to go slow here. Watch this. The software also says that if you follow this system, now watch this. This person can accumulate $2.2 million over the next 22 years, assuming a 1% interest rate. I'm going to go slow here. So let's say this person is 45 years old. So between 45 and 65, this person, by following this system, in 5 years, they can be out of debt. And in 2 years, they can have $2.2 million reserve while having access to the money. Let me say it again, while having access to the money. Is there anyone here that doesn't like what they see? But you say, well, Jeff, how does it work? Let me show you how it works. But you're going to see how it works. Now, you're not going to see the day-to-day, what the software is teaching you to do, but you're going to see it. And that's the point that I want to emphasize. The left column is the traditional debt payment schedule. The right column is utilizing the software. I want you to see something. You can see over left here, the balance is based on $395,089. Over here is based on a 399 balance, 399,084 balance. Okay. After 1 year of following the system, if you're doing the traditional route, their 395 is going to be reduced to 355. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. But over here, this 399,084 is going to be reduced to 334. Now, which side would you rather be on? The blue pill or the red pill? What's the difference in that number? So you got a $20,000+ difference in financial benefit because this person is following the system. Now, what is the system? I'm going to tell you what it does. On the left side, when you take out debt, that debt is calculated by a computer that utilizes an amortization table, and that amortization table is calculated based on making profit for who? The bank. What this software does, it reverse engineers what the bank is doing, while at the same time evaluating your personal numbers. So this is not just a calculator. This is looking at your savings account, all that good stuff, and saying, okay, based on your flow of cash and your savings, all that good stuff, this is here. Okay, I want you to pay this bill off on this date. I'll pay this bill off on that date. So the software is working for you versus working against you. Again, which side would you rather be on, the blue side or the red side? Let's go year two. Year two, you go from 395 to 313. You say, that's pretty good, right? Over here, they go from 399 to 259. Let me ask you guys a question. If you had a financial instrument that was going to teach you how to keep $54,000 in your pocket, would you be willing to pay for it? Okay, don't answer that question. Let's go to the next row. We've now three years now. Over traditional route, we go from 395 to 275, or 399 to 182. Because the blue side is clearly winning. Now, how would that feel? Now look at these debts. They got a mortgage, they got a home equity, they got a student loan, they got 2 car notes and 3 different debts. And they're 3 years into this, and they can see that they're going to be debt-free in 3 more years. How do you think they're feeling? How do you think this feels? And how would you feel if you were in this situation? And again, the software is doing the heavy thinking for you. All you got to do is follow what it says. I promise you, everybody, that is not the problem. It's not. All right, so we get down to the 5th year. We could see the numbers. Could you imagine waking up and getting a statement from the bank saying, well, you thought that you owed 17,000, but no, what you really owe is 202,000. If you got a letter like that in the mail, how would you feel? Well, that's exactly what we're doing when we're not using financial tools that are working to our advantage. If we can't see the numbers, how do we get them fixed? I promise you, we don't have a debt problem. The only problem that we have is solutions to problems. The software, you can see 395, 399. You can see that the software costs $4,000. You can see it. It's right there.
Oh, that's the price of, okay.
It's the price of the software.
So you can include that to your debt.
Right. It's assuming that you put it on like a credit card.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's including that in the analysis to be transparent.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, John.
Yes.
If I have a bill, let's say my mortgage, my payment is $500. That's what the computer tells me to pay.
Right.
And I had a good month. Would it be a negative wealth transfer if I paid 700?
See, now, there you go, starting stuff. I was ready to go. So the question for you is you have a couple of options. If I want to stick to the purity of the debt elimination, because this is creating negative wealth transfer, it is. Why? Because every time I make a payment to the creditor, even though the software is showing me how to do it cheaper, I'm still making payments to the bank, and that money is gone forever. So I lose the financial control of that money, future interest crediting, and the financial control of that money forever. That negative wealth transfer is gone. It's created. So when I had a good month, I added $200. Now I am increasing that negative wealth transfer. So the question then is, do I want to reverse that negative wealth transfer? And one of the strategies we use is taking the $200 to buy a HELOC. Now, why do we say that? And this is just a general statement. To get the hard numbers, you need to see the rate of return on HELOC and all that. But my point is that a $200 HELOC is about $20,000. So what if instead of using it to accelerate the payment of the debt, what if I used it to create volume of cash into my policy? So I added $20,000 to my policy, but it only cost me $200 a month. And I'm going to take that debt and put that into the software, so it's going to re-engineer it to accelerate the payoff. What's the advantage? I have $200,000 that is now creating cash reserves, and in turn is going to create interest from that, cash flow from that, and profit from that. So the question would be, which do you want to do? Continue to focus on debt, or you want to start building cash reserve? Well, we know that cash reserve, the accumulation of cash reserve, is a far more powerful debt elimination tool because it gives me more economic power, because I am literally taking debt in that case and creating interest on it for the rest of my life. So depends upon which side you want to be on. You want to be on the cash accumulation side or the debt elimination side? It's up to you.
And getting that HELOC and using that money, with that HELOC, can you write that off?
I'm not a tax person, so you want to talk to your tax person, because I'm hearing conflicting answers. So make sure you get that from your tax person. But I say, to err on the side of caution, what if you don't get a tax write-off? Is it still a problem solving, not just a good idea, but is it a problem solving idea? If you want to meet with me and you want to get an analysis done for yourself, and we can talk about how does this relate to doubling your property equity value, doubling your cash reserves and cash flow. We can get into that. And I do not charge a fee. If you do this, obviously you can see how much the software costs, and I show you how to pay for it. I've had people tell me, Jeff, I can't afford it. The next thing you know, we find the money. Because this strategy, this is not an optional strategy. When we run the numbers and show you where you're going to be a year from now without this strategy, you are going to pay far more, and you are paying and have paid far more. Negative wealth transfer is something that we have been conditioned to be comfortable with, and I am working on reversing that. So thank you, everybody. If you want to connect, you've got my calendar. You can set up a 15-minute if you just got questions. If you want an analysis, you can let me know that as well. The risk assessment, I'll send you the questionnaire. I'm going to try something where you can be paid $200 a week as an affiliate of our program. We'll talk about that. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Hopefully I said something that was of value to you. If you want to talk, got questions, or you want to have an analysis done, let me know, and we'll take care from there. Be blessed, everybody.